Gentlemen, welcome back. This is a oddity for me, but I'm doing two racing sessions, coaching sessions, in 1 week, and it's because of it was yesterday morning, right? I don't know if you watched technically it was my second race. Um, First race I got wrecked out of in like lap one, and anyway, it was he spun, I went in front of him, he coasted down to get out of everybody's way, and I was there, so it was a racing incident. But anyway. Um, but I got bullied, and I didn't. How do I put it? I felt really wrong. Um, I didn't like it. And I don't consider myself a bully. Not even a little bit, but sometimes I say intimidation. But I don't consider myself a bully. But I was like beat up. Like I got beat up, and I didn't like it. And then some guy told me I need to learn racecraft, which no shit, I'm 1500. But I went back and looked at it, and I didn't think I did anything wrong. I bumped him a little bit because I was carrying more speed into the corner. But I don't understand what he was talking about. I need to learn racecraft. But anyway, I was kind of really out of it. Like I guess that's the best way to put it. I felt like I was drowning, and I didn't like it. So I have to fix it, and I do not like. I hated that feeling, and I used to feel it, like when I didn't have a clue, and now I feel like I have a clue, and I I didn't like it. So I got to see if I can fix it. Maybe I can, maybe I can't, but I don't know. I really like. I don't know how we're gonna fix it, just one on one. But my line, like everything got wrong, and the more I do this track, honestly, the worse I get at it. Like it's weird. I don't. I guess it's because I'm getting more comfortable with it, so I'm trying to carry more speed, and I can't. Instead of backing it up, I'm pushing it, and it's. I don't know. And so, basically, I guess if you want to call it, I need a helping hand. I don't know how else to put it, but um, this is the only way I know how to get help. So this is what I'm doing. Okay, let me take a couple warm-up laps because he should be here any moment now, so we don't have to waste his time. Stop it. Come on, dude. I wonder if I should go to a different room right away. It doesn't matter. That fucking corner, dude. I can't get this I'm terrified of this corner. Literally, I've never been more scared of a corner. Like, I know I'm gonna spin. Like, I don't understand it. I didn't used to. I almost did, but now I almost spin every single time.
Hello, hello.
Hello, sir.
I caught the tail end of that. You feel like you're spinning out a lot.
No, just in the one corner here at Montego.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Uh,
it terrifies
Probably
me.
eight 39, did you
Yep.
say?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, talk to me. How's it? How's
So,
everything?
I did a race. My first race, I got into an accident. He
Mm,
spun in front of me, and I thought if it was safer to go down, and he went down to get out
mm,
of everybody's way and hit me, and it destroyed my car. And then the second
mm,
race, I started fourth, I think.
mm.
Fourth? I think it was fourth. And
Yeah.
I got bullied, dude. I got the snot kicked out of me. And like literally, like they were hammering me. It was like a demolition derby. And so it
Mm,
was kind of like it was like the Porsche Cup is kind of like a country club, and the GT3 club is like being in a city where there, like it's just like the
yeah.
different etiquette. And so it's like
Mm,
I don't know if that was it, but I used to do this, but I felt like I was doing my 152s and stuff. It just
mm,
felt like I was being run over, and
yeah.
I don't know. And then the next race I did, um, I finished third or something like that. But the
Mm,
guy messaged me saying I need to learn racecraft. I'm like, I don't understand. It's like I raced him clean, or I felt like like I don't really
mm,
understand where he said I need racecraft. I mean, we're in a 1500 room. That's what
mm,
If we knew racecraft, we'd be a 2K. But so I don't understand the whole like. So I don't know if he meant somebody else, but I was like, I didn't race him hard,
mm.
like so.
No worries. No
Anyway,
worries. So, two directions we can go in. We can
okay,
tackle the racecraft stuff if there's anything in particular you want to talk about or ask questions. Potentially, if you've got like the races saved or anything, we can go over like the YouTube videos of that if
yep,
you want to, or
okay,
the iRacing replays if you've got the iRacing replays as well. And then the other side is pace, because part of feeling like everyone's just like beating you up is going to be if you're not quite on the pace. Obviously, like you've gained a ton of iRating from whenever we were last working together, so you were dominating the 1K splits. Now you're up to 15, 1600. Maybe that's around about where you're at right now.
yep,
And so it's natural that, if you have a good qualifying, it's super possible that you're going to drop back in the race. Uh, and that may not be anything racecraft wise that you're necessarily doing wrong. It just may be the pace. So I'll bounce it back at you. What do you want to tackle first? Do you want to tackle racecraft or pace?
Well, how are we gonna do racecraft with just you and I?
So a lot of it is going to be like discussing incidents that have happened or talking about what you could or couldn't have done. We can by all means jump into a car and practice some running as well. Uh,
Okay. What would you
but
like to do first? What do you think's more important?
I think I don't. So I've watched a few of your streams when you've been racing. I don't think your racecraft in general is that bad. I think there's like the odd time where maybe you get into situations that you don't need to be in,
Uh huh.
but I don't think it's that bad. And I think when you have the pace, your racecraft is fine. I think you're obviously more comfortable when you have the pace, right?
Yep. Yep.
So I think maybe part of falling backwards and feeling like the racecraft was bad there was also just was lacking pace, lacking comfort, I guess. So I'd say the best thing to work on is pace first
Okay.
off. I'm not going to get you to run laps first this time. I'm going to pull up uh, my screen. I'm going to share my screen because I
Okay.
know what I want to work on already. I've seen the telemetry. Uh, I'm gonna ask you, what do you feel like is the struggle or the struggles you've got with this combo or at the moment?
1 second. Where is on this track? It's being comfortable. Like I can't do. Like I'm consistent, but I can't. How do I put it? Like I'm almost. I feel like I'm. I don't even know how to put it. Like I can. I can't. I can't progress, and so it's like
Mm,
I felt like I'm crashing more in that one corner or two corners. Like I'm messing up turn one and two, which I
mm,
kind of did at first, but I kind of had it. But now that I feel like I'm trying to pick up the pace where I think I can be,
mm,
I'm not. And then like I'm over. It's almost like I'm overshooting it, but I'm still doing the same pace. But I can't. I try to back it down, but
mm,
then it just like it. Then I look at my like my braking thing, and like I feel like I'm rotating the car fine, but my braking telemetry tells me I'm wrong. So everything I'm doing is I'm double guessing myself on everything. Like I guess I'm in
sure.
that quasi state. Like I feel like I'm better than when I'm
Mm,
racing, but I can't
mm,
get there. And so and then getting literally, I got the doors knocked off me, and I was drowning. I'm like, I'm doing like, and then a guy turned me into turn one, right off the start. I don't know if you saw it. Came around the outside of me, pushed me in, and I was like, I was almost in the grass, and so I was like, I was told that I'm on the inside. I can push him all the way out to the end if I want to. So I was like, I'm not letting him push me in the grass. So he came across. I was at his door. He turned across me to make turn two, and he spun and he yelled at me. I'm like, that ain't my fault.
I remember seeing this. So
okay, so I don't. But is that my fault? I don't think so. But I don't like. I know you talked about that. What? Remember in the racecraft thing? Remember? I don't remember the word you used. Overlap. That's right. Yeah. So I'm like, Jay tells me that if I'm on the inside or if he's on the inside, he can use all the outside. That's the outside guys to give me the room on the inside. So
I'll touch on this.
Okay.
He's right, but only to a certain extent.
Okay.
It's worth saying I don't think that incident was really your fault.
Okay.
You probably could have avoided it, but I don't think it was your fault. But we'll touch on that a little bit. The thing I want to hammer into now is, so would you say in these corners you feel like you're somewhat inconsistent in how you approach them?
Yep.
In terms of like you're always surprised, or you're always having to work out how to handle the corner once you arrive at the corner.
Yeah.
So, given that you're feeling that, and given that this is the prompt I'm going to give you, is this is something we've talked about in the past, how do you think you can improve your feeling of consistency into each corner?
I just supposed to back it up, but I really like this track. I do like. I like the flow of it. So it's really weird, but I just it's so like turn one is such a mystery to me. I just and so it's like, and then like whatever the heck that sharp, not the sharp king, but that thing there before you get to the big round. I'll show you when we're going. You'll see me spin. But there, and it's just like the more I practice, the worse I'm getting. But my times are the same. So honestly, I don't know what really my problem is now. I'm kind of like, I don't know. But that's why I said I got to do, because I don't want this to, like, get worse. So I was like, I'm crazy to do, like, I know you think it's crazy to do 2 race sessions, but I'm like, I feel like I'm better, but I'm not, and I don't want it to go bad all weekend. And if we fix it, like if I would have done a Silverstone, I could have done better. And I'm not really even worried about my I rating. It's really more my pride. Like it really twisted me up, getting beat up like that, and I didn't like it. So I was like, I didn't like it.
So the thing I want to talk about, and the thing we should work on, is braking again. So when you come to a new track, the kind of the first thing you want to do is learn what braking point you want. I think the 2 things you messaged me before is, did you say your braking had gone? You got pushed around and you felt like it was hard to feel the understeer on the GT3s.
Yeah.
So I think this still comes back to the braking. So if we take turn 1, for example, these are just 4 practice laps you did in a practice session. And this was towards the later end of the practice. It wasn't like the first practice session you did, for example. So at this stage, ideally, you'd have locked in your braking at this stage. But you can see over these 4 laps, your braking point varies
a lot.
Again, by 20. So the point at which you brake varies by 20 meters.
Yeah.
And then the way you approach the braking also varies. You see this huge variation on entry speed, and then the whole rest of the corner you're having to play catch up and work out how to get the car back to a consistent speed on entry.
That's what I feel like.
Job.
Yeah.
You do a really good job of doing that because you start off with wildly different brake traces, wildly different entry speeds, and you manage to get it down to the same speed as you go through the corner, so you don't lose out as much as you could have. But we want you to be in a situation where you don't feel like you're constantly having to react in the entry. Imagine we're going to see the same again here. Same again here.
This here.
Braking point again varying by 20 meters, and then wildly different brake traces. So, and I think I saw one part of the race, and this corner especially, you were always over slowing into. And you see, you don't, in any of these laps, you never really have to maintain constant straight line braking, and you're always like messing around with the brake pressure to try and control the right amount of speed through the corner. So this really is going to be going back to what we talked about. I know it's almost probably frustrating to go back to something we have talked about, but this is the good news is it's something you've worked on before, it's something you've corrected before. So it's not something you're not capable of doing, you're definitely capable of doing this. It's just you needed that reminder to say, we pick a braking point, we brake to say 80% or whatever the threshold of ABS is in the Porsche GT3, I'm not sure. So you can work that out. You can see that you can brake quite a lot without hitting the ABS. So maybe even 85%, but let's say 80%. So pick a braking point, brake up to 80%, maintain that 80% in the straight line, only drop the brake pressure once you start turning into the corner, and if you massively overslow for that corner, then you need to push the braking point further forward. So these next laps, especially into the hairpins or like the long straights into heavy braking zones, focus on this. Turn 1's a little bit harder because it's like you've got quite a high speed sweeper, even though it's a tight corner. Then with turn 2, but still into these corners as well, focus on it. So pick a braking point, brake up to 80%, maintain that 80% until you start turning in, even if it means you overslow, and use that as the indicator that actually your braking points in most cases are going to be far too conservative. Before I send you out on track, let me see if we've got... I'm just going to jump on board with another random car, just to ask you, like, for example, where your braking point is in turn 1. If this guy has done running. Oh, let's just take this corner, for example. So, do you know which corner this is? Can you tell from the onboard?
No.
Okay, so yeah, it's hard to tell. I don't know the circuit too well either. I think this is turn 1.
Oh, true. Okay. Okay, so
We've
this
got
is 3. Yeah, yeah.
3 and 4,
Okay, yeah.
and then this one here, this
Yeah,
right-hander,
okay.
going under the bridge.
Yep.
So if
I
I go
brake.
on board with him,
Yep. So I'm gonna brake almost just before, like, where the green light almost hits my, almost where the light is, like right about here. Yep. I feel like it's right about here. Am I right?
So I'm not trying to say whether you're right or wrong. I'm just trying to.
No, I was looking at my telemetry.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
what I want to know is what you're thinking about in terms of when you're braking. Like, how are you deciding when to brake? You're saying around about where this.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's part of it. So the reason you're like 20 meters off each time is because you're thinking around about when the green light is somewhere around here.
Yeah.
So it needs to be more precise. It needs to be when for example, when the green light hits the edge of the car, or if it's earlier, then
it's early. Yeah.
Then it's earlier. Yeah.
But so there's nothing here to tell me. So I kind of go. I try to. Like so, like I try to pick it like right where the front of the car is, to the light. Like I feel like it's like right a little closer. But then if I go to the light, I feel like I overshoot the corner, so I can't go to the light. So it's right in here somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So for example, you've got this what is it, sticker or something on the side of the car? I don't know. There's something on the car.
Yeah. Oh, that's a number plate, right? For when they see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got that, and you could have when this lines up with the blue.
Oh, okay.
Post.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there will almost always be something, and that's really the key. You could even have like when the top of the light hits the top of the roof. Again, that's a little bit earlier, right? Around about where you're aiming for. So in corners especially corners where you're struggling to be consistent through them, the two first things to look at is, do you have a clearly defined reference point? And if not, try and find one. And 2, make sure you're braking up to that like limit of ABS and always maintaining that in the straight line, because otherwise you're not maximizing the braking in the straight line, so you could have broke later, but you're also not slowing down consistently, so naturally you're always going to be struggling with consistency through the corner. So I'll stop sharing, I'll get you to jump out on track. The only thing we're worried about now is brake at the regular point that you have for each corner, but brake with the correct braking technique like we talked about before, and see where you end up in the corner. I bet you in a bunch of places you're going to massively overslow.
Okay.
And then this will come back into feeling when the pushing the car, or when you're understeering, or how much to push the car. Because the session we did in Porsche at Suzuka, that was a big step forward in terms of never pushing the steering too much. It looked really good, but if you're not consistent on entry speed, then there's no point in worrying about that, because you're always just having to play catch up, and you're going through the corner with whatever speed you're going through the corner at. So until you're consistent on entry speed, you can't work out when or how early to brake that allows you to not be pushing the steering wheel. If you can share your...
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, okay. Okay, share screen. Okay.
Yep, I've got you.
I think that's a late apex corner. And that's the other thing I do. I mess with early apex to late apex, and I kind of feel like wherever speed the car feels good at, I kind of run with. This corner here is my worst corner. Well, I thought it was my worst corner. Like, I die in that corner all the time.
We'll touch on it as well, don't we? Much better braking. So pick your braking point, whatever the reference is, brake up to 80%. Look at you decreasing the brake pressure massively, you see?
Is that good or bad?
Bad. You want to maintain 80% in the whole straight line braking zone.
That's
even if that means even if it means you massively overslow, because that's what's going to tell you that there's more braking performance available, right?
Okay, because that's what I've been doing, and that's what I'm like, I think it's wrong, but I feel like I'm rotating the car, so I'm like, maybe it's right, so, okay.
Once you get into the turning, then it's okay to be trailing off the brake.
See, I do it again. Everything, this is how I do it in this car.
This isn't so bad because you were turning at the time. It's only in the straight line that you're not allowed to drop the brake pressure, right? Good. And then you drop the brake when you turn into the corner. So pick the reference point for this one, and keep the brake pressure constant until you turn in.
I didn't do it, did I? Yep, see?
You didn't. Yep, but you're spotting it.
I even took my shoes off because I'm like, maybe it's like it's something different. I just like...
You're just reading into it a little bit too much there.
Oh, yeah, that's all I do. I overanalyze.
9 times out of 10, it comes back to the simple things. It's not like very small details like shoes, no shoes. Always comes back to the fundamentals.
Okay.
So into this one, brake at the same point, but don't decrease that brake pressure, even if it means you overslow from the corner. Just try to use the braking. Good. Look at that. And you've stopped well before the corner. So this is your indication.
Okay.
That's probably also why you were getting beat up a little bit. Is because if you were braking far earlier than everyone else, then of course they're going to catch up to you a lot in the braking. And if they don't know particularly well how to pass you, then they're going to get frustrated that like you're slow in the braking zone and they're getting held up. That's not your fault. You're entitled to take it. But that speaks to their frustration a little bit.
3.565 W fastest lap of the session.
Same again as this one. Pick your braking point. Only drop the brake pressure once you turn in. Good. You trailed off a little bit in the straight line still, you see it? Good.
But see how I'm upsetting the ABS.
Yeah, you're a little bit too hard on the brakes.
Okay.
But the idea was good.
I'm trying now not to brake so hard then. I'm like, okay. I feel like the car really like can brake hard, so I'm like, okay, maybe use that to your advantage. I can't do this corner.
We'll talk about this corner, don't worry.
Okay.
So what happened into this corner last time?
I broke too early.
Yes, so pick a later braking point and still maximise the braking in the straight line. Good, much better, and that was still too early.
Yep, okay. Oh, I didn't pay attention if the ABS light went on or not.
I didn't see, but it was. If it was barely on.
That was your fastest lap of the session.
Oh, and I did it again. I can do 151s every once in a while in practice, but in the race yesterday where I got third, most of my laps were 151s. So it's like it's weird. Like I'm more comfortable in a race,
Yeah.
than I am in practice.
Good. So if you're activating, so your braking was good there. If you're activating ABS a lot and feeling like you can't slow down, what do you do to correct that?
I need to back up.
Yes, exactly. And we'll talk more about this corner, but just apex later for now.
That's not
Somewhere
right.
in between.
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit too late.
So I watched a guy do it, a 5K guy do it, and he was doing that, and I'm like, he's gonna get killed in a race. So I'm like, I don't know how you do that and not get killed in a race.
If you're faster, then no one can catch up with you regardless.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I guess so. Ugh.
Same again. Later braking methods, maximise the track. This was too hard on the brakes. And you see, even still so early, that you were trailing off the brakes
Yeah.
the whole time.
Okay, so it's about at that last marker. I just got to figure it out.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm Groundhog Day, man.
It's okay. It's different car as well, so you've got to factor that in as well. Like you've got up to the highest I rating you've been at in a while, and you jumped in and straight away you're qualifying in the top half of the grid in a different car. So it's still progress, even if it feels like you're going backwards or repeating the same things. I know we're talking about braking again, but you're sometimes you need the reminder. Good.
So I'm going to ask an obvious question.
Back this braking up first.
Okay.
A little bit.
Oh, that time I tried to.
See, after you drop the brake pressure a little too much.
Okay.
Go on. What was
Everybody said if I can do the Porsche Cup, GT3 Cup's going to be a cakewalk, and that's not the case.
It's easier. It's easier. It's just you still need to carry forward the same techniques, right? You can't not think about it still.
That's not right.
What does it feel like? Why does it feel not right?
It's plowing up the hill.
And you're having to keep increasing the steering after the apex,
Yeah,
right?
and like I feel like it's only the plowing up the hill or I spin. Like I drop it and I crash. You know, it's
every time you have to keep increasing the steering after the apex.
Uh-huh.
That's the sign that you apex too early. Good.
That's terrible.
It's a little bit too early, but the brake, you're still dropping the brake less than you were before. about what you need to do.
So that felt really good, but the line looked like crap.
No, it was good.
Okay.
Good. That was good.
That was
braking,
better.
a good
Okay.
braking point. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Okay. So I'm just too hard on the brakes, I think, right?
Mm. Good.
No,
Imagine
I got on
this
too
corner's
early.
like the previous left-hander. Take it the same way. Good.
I just
Much
can't
better.
do it. Like
Yeah.
I don't.
You just
It just.
you just need to carry a little bit less speed. Like you're carrying so much speed that you can't hit that late
Okay.
apex, but you're not far off. The line was right. It's just that you carried a bit too much speed.
See, there it is again. I'm just. Maybe I don't know.
So much better braking. A little bit
But
too
I
early.
slowed down too early. Yeah, that's okay.
Yes, it's still a
Yeah.
little bit too early of a
Okay.
braking reference, but the brake trace is good.
Yeah.
The key is you have a good brake trace, and then you pick the braking reference around that brake trace.
So in this car, I really want to be at 60%.
Maybe even 70 or 80.
52.6.
See right there. Okay.
Whatever you did into that corner was good. It wasn't really activating the ABS too much, and it was slowing down nice and quick. Good. Nothing wrong with that line at all.
Too slow. Dude,
Tell
that's
me about
terrible.
What went
Like
wrong?
everything. I was like, I thought it broke too early, and then I broke too heavy, and then so I had to lift to let it go.
Yep, so the only thing that went wrong there was you broke too early, you're right. So you need to make sure you've got a reference that is correct for that corner. Into the next heavy braking zone down the hill, you have a really good reference that's just a little bit too conservative. Your brake trace looks really nice. It really is just about finding these right reference points, and once you find the right reference points, it will be much easier to brake with the right brake trace. There's a tiny little bit later braking point than it was last time, because remember you slowed a little bit too quickly
On that corner?
on this corner coming up.
Okay.
Slightly later. Good.
I feel like I went into it too slow though.
You didn't quite need to use as much of the brakes as you could have, but it wasn't bad.
Okay.
That was your fastest lap of the session.
See, I didn't carry enough speed because I had to get on the gas early. I just.
Nice to say. Slightly later braking. Good.
Want to be in second though.
Exactly how you take that left-hander is how you take this next one. Just don't carry too much speed. So how did it feel?
So it didn't go out right, but that's the way the corner feels most comfortable to me, going in the farthest apex and like hitting the inside. But I'm the only one who does it.
Yeah, so was it an early apex or was it a late apex?
That was a late apex in, right?
No. Opposite. It was an early apex. So you were having to fight the steering a lot on the exit. Good.
Still, I gotta carry more speed.
Kind of bit, but it was good. Just pushing that corner a little bit.
Yep.
Actually.
Okay, I'm gonna hit that light line, and then I'm gonna make sure I hit the corner right now. I think the white line's about right. So it's just kind of figuring out the...
So remember how you take this corner?
It's a whole different
Now
corner,
take-
though.
Now take the left-hander, the next left-hander, the same way. Just with slightly different speed, but similarly
Okay.
late apex.
It's...
You just got to be a little bit slower, just a little bit slower. The line is right.
I think I better stick to the Porsche Cup.
Yeah, you'll get there, you'll get there.
.673.
Almost. Damn.
That was good. That was good. Don't push this one too much. Get your braking point. Good. If anything, it's a tiny bit too late, but just barely.
Brake a little earlier?
Tiny bit, but it may be good, it may be fine.
Okay.
Slow down more than you think for this one, and later apex. How's that feel?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Even
Oh.
that was still maybe a little bit too early, but it was much easier, right?
Okay, yeah. Ah.
Good.
Too early?
Yeah. But you're braking again. So much now I've prompted you, so much better. And it's only once you get your braking right that you can actually find the right reference point. So if you're never braking correctly, you never get the chance to find the right reference point. Really good.
52.341.
Oh, that's much better.
Hmm.
That was the right speed. I just got on the gas early.
Yep.
Did it again. Nope. That was wrong.
Yeah, I think it's just that braking point is a little bit too aggressive. And it means you either like absolutely nail the corner or you mess it up. Same again, more braking than you think and later apex. Good. Even there, just need a little bit more braking. But you know how to hit that corner now. do 3 more laps of this, and then we'll talk about the understeer and the push.
Just keep. That was rotation of the car. Fuck.
52.871.
Good. That was the rotation. A little bit earlier braking.
I need a later apex so I come out cleaner.
More braking than you think. Late apex. Good. Gained so much time on the exit.
You have about 5 laps of fuel left.
Keep it going. 2 more laps of this.
$52.619.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I don't know if I trust myself full throttle. I didn't need to lift that much, but
Good. Then we're getting more braking, late apex. Good.
it feels so safe now. It's so.
And that's every corner. Any time where you feel
Yeah.
like you're having to increase the steering on the exit,
Okay.
that's the cause. You just need to let apex later and work out how much braking you need to make that work.
Wow, I could have braked later. Okay.
So did you miss your braking point there? Did you just brake too early?
Yep, I wanted to see because I felt like I had to brake trace too much last time. So I said, well, let me see if I brake a little early, if it'll clean that straight line up.
Yeah.
I tried to
Once
brake
you-
earlier, but straight.
52.881.
I'd say once you've found the brake trace you want, or like once you've worked up to practice laps and you're pretty clean on the brake trace, in the race don't change them. Unless you notice that it's clearly super wrong. In the race you just want to be consistent with what you're used to.
Okay. Well, it wasn't that bad, but it didn't feel right.
So what you got to ask yourself each time is, did I hit my reference?
Yep.
And did I do a good brake trace? If you hit your reference and you did a good brake trace, then and you're carrying too much speed, then the reference needs to be brought further back. If you make that mistake 2 or 3 laps in a row, then that's a sign that you've got too aggressive of a reference. Regular braking point for this one. Good, so you still have to trail off a little bit so you can push it a little bit further forward. Keep going, one more lap of this. Good.
We have about 2 laps of fuel left.
You can still push a little bit more that braking zone.
So I brake just a little later at the same pressure.
Yes, same pressure. So the trace looks really nice.
Okay.
Don't change the trace. Just yeah, brake a little bit later to allow yourself to carry that, to make it so you don't feel like you have to drop off the brake in a straight line.
Okay. Oh yeah, it got weird there. Okay.
Yeah, all right. Let's park it up there, and we'll discuss the next point as well. So yeah, how was it feeling primarily with the change to the brakes again? How's it feel from your side?
It's just I don't. I honestly feel like I'm learning all over again, and it's more. It's just more like you feel like you're an idiot. Like I guess that's more it. So it's more mental, where like I said, it's like I'm wasting your time because it's like it just. But I mean, it's just the same mistakes, and it's just like, but I really feel like I shouldn't be here, just because it's a different car. Like it's the same concept, different car, like you just, and it's just, I don't know, understand why, but it feels so different than like the Porsche Cup. But I get it. It's like I get it in the Porsche Cup, like I did Suzuka, and it just felt like even Suzuka. I mean not Suzuka, Silverstone, because that's next. First week of Cup is Silverstone, and I was like, I just felt so much more at home in the Porsche Cup, which everybody hates, but I really like it. And now it's just like, so I came to this car thinking I was going to be really, really good. Like I said, I'm an arrogant son of a bitch, but I understand where my faults are. But it's just like, I'm really, like, I'm not doing a poor me, but I'm really disappointed in myself because I'm not where everybody thinks I should be, or like where like I'm supposed to be better in the GT3 car than I am in a Porsche car because.
But I think that's part
So
of it. You almost think, oh, well, it's GT3, it should be easier.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about the same things, but you're used to thinking about them in the Porsche Cup, and then you think, oh, GT3 easier. Let's stop thinking, and you still have to think about them. What I'll do, so I want to again touch on the not pushing or not understeering again. I think it'd be helpful for you to feel it in this car. But what I'll do is at the end of this session, I'll give you like a cheat sheet of when things go wrong. Here are the things to check for before you blame anything else.
Okay.
Which is, if you feel inconsistent in the corner, it's the brake trace, it's the reference point. If you feel like you're having to increase the steering on the exit and the corner just feels horrible, it's the apex. You've got to take a later apex if you're having to increase the steering after the apex. And then the next point that we're going to talk about is if the car feels like it's ploughing, understeering, like you say, you've got to use the front tyres less. So even if it feels like you're not going to make the corner, you've got to use the front tyres less. So exactly as we talked about in the Porsche Cup, in this will feel different in different cars in terms of how much steering angle you can give, how much braking you can give. So it's normal that you've not found that sweet spot yet in this car. But let's spend the next few laps still thinking about the braking points as much as you can, but paying real attention to when the car goes from being nice and pointy and oversteering to the point where you're understeering or you're not getting that rotation. And when you notice that, you've got to be aware to ask for less from the front tires.
Okay. I just started feeling the, like I think I messaged you last night saying I don't really feel it. Well, this morning I practiced for about a half hour, and then I just started to feel the like the understeer coming out. So I didn't really feel that when I messaged you, so it's kind of a new, okay.
There's a couple of corners where you're starting to get the rotation, like turn 1, sometimes you're getting really nice rotation now. And I think part of that also comes from cleaning up the brake trace. You're coming in with more consistent speed, so it's coming back to you what you need to do, but it still is going to help to consciously think about it as well. So don't ever push the front tyres beyond what they're capable of. In this corner, for example, how did the front tyres feel?
Do I?
In this corner, how did the front tyres feel?
And that one, like it pushed.
Yes, so you've got to ask for less from the front tyres.
Well, that's what I thought with the last one, so I tried to take a later apex, and it still did it. So I was like,
every time the car pushes, it's about asking either a little bit less from the steering, so less steering,
okay,
or a little bit less from the brakes, less braking, or a combination of both.
58.494.
Good. Really good. Never let yourself steer to the point that you get understeer. Good.
but I almost feel like I came to a stop, and that's why. I guess that's it.
Almost,
okay.
So you're scared to do this approach because you feel like you're going to have less steering available to you, less cornering as a car, and so you slow down because you're like, well, I've got less steering. But all the time you're understeering, you're turning the car less than if you're rotating the car. So it's not that you need to go any slower. It's just that you need to fight that instinct in the moment when you're carrying too much speed, because you will still actually get more cornering when you're not scrubbing the steering. Good. It's not about going any slower. It's just about not pushing the front over the limit. Good. Good. Keep it going, especially into turn 1. Don't push the fronts over the limit.
62.27.
Good. You see, you didn't push the fronts over
Yep.
the limit, and even though you overshot a little bit, you got back into the second apex more quickly.
It's so weird. Okay, because now I can, even in the first corner, I could feel it starting to do it.
Mm.
You know, whatever. You just feel it now, like
Yeah.
I can in a Porsche Cup.
Mm.
Okay. Now it's just getting clean.
Good. Little bit of understeer.
But I slowed down enough for it, right?
You were still understeering a little bit.
So- that was 2.
Yep.
I don't understand how people. That's so bad. Like, I don't see how people can go. I just can't wrap my hand around it. How it doesn't seem like they go that slow, and they're. I don't. Okay, let's go.
Fifty-three point 317.
Nope, too slow.
No, there wasn't much wrong with that.
Little understeer.
Yeah. So here, I think it was just a little bit too much brake pressure. Obviously, if you feel like you're needing that brake pressure to slow down, then maybe it's about changing the reference point.
I did that on purpose, but I wanted to see if I could do it at like 60% and see how it felt.
Yeah.
So I don't. Nope.
See, that's just pushing the front.
Yeah.
On the entry, you just push the front over them, and that's the combination of braking and steering. So maybe you just have to trail off the brake a little bit more in order to get that steering.
It's a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. You're spotting it, which is a good thing.
Well, I feel it. I don't spot it.
Yes.
Like I feel it now. And that was like.
yeah.
So
That's
it's.
the main thing.
Yeah.
52.403.
Good.
That was kind of like
Put
a.
it on the entry to 1, but you correct it.
Yeah.
on the- that's it. You don't push too much from the brakes and steering into the entry. There you go.
Yep. How the fuck am I supposed
I'd say just have, when it's straight line braking,
Hmm.
you just have one pressure that you always get to. As long as there's a fairly long straight line braking zone, you always hit the same pressures. Like whatever pressure you're hitting into the corner down the hill, into the under the bridge, same pressure into that one just there. Good.
I should have waited a second.
And these laps really look for the rotation while not pushing the front over.
52.863.
Too slow.
There you go. Good.
That was too slow.
We were getting some rotation there.
Go left.
Little much. Little much.
You can also drop the brake bias down a little bit if you feel like the car isn't rotating quite as nicely as maybe the push step is.
I don't know what that means.
Do you have a button map for brake bias?
Yep, but I don't know. I don't feel it when I do it.
Okay. If you knock it down like 2%, let's say, you're going to feel it.
Right there?
Keep going twice more.
I went backwards, right? To the back?
Yes, press
Okay.
the same button 3 more times, let's say.
53.285.
Now you feel it, huh?
I don't feel no difference.
No?
Uh-uh.
Keep going. Knock it back another couple of clicks. Yep.
I feel like I'm not stopping.
Yeah, this was just thinking about it too much.
Okay. I thought he was gonna go. The front wheels feel like they're not, almost like they're not touching the ground anymore. I don't feel like I have the weight on it.
Don't think about it too much.
Okay.
Try and treat it like the brake hasn't changed.
Same. Okay.
And let's go another couple of kicks backwards. We're going to keep bringing it backwards until you feel what I want you to feel.
58.604.
Another couple of kicks backwards and still braking at the same point. And again, really trying to look for this rotation while not overworking the front tires. How was the braking point in that one?
I felt like I could have braked later.
Yes. So have you shifted your braking reference?
Do I?
Have you shifted your braking reference further back than it was before?
Yeah, further back. Yep.
So you need to shift it further forward.
Okay.
You did have a good braking reference for that corner as well.
Okay.
But you're second guessing yourself in terms of when you brake.
Yep.
Once you've got a fairly good point, stick with it. You don't need to experiment all the time. If it goes pretty good, then you've got that braking point correct, and you move on to the next one. So all the time you're changing it every lap, there's variability there as well. Back to where your braking point was in this corner.
Do I?
Back to your regular reference point, that was good.
Okay.
Good. Instantly gain the time.
That was your fastest lap of the session.
No.
Good, that was good. That entry was really good. You didn't overwork the front tires. And that's the place to get the rotation from. Every time you overwork the front tires, you never stand a chance of getting rotation.
Nope. Fuck. Okay. Push it a little bit. Too slow? Well, maybe not.
Good.
I guess it feels wrong going in so slow. Too hard. I can put it a little forward. Yeah, see.
Hard because as soon as you start thinking about not overworking your front tyres, then you don't have the capacity to also do that braking.
52.492.
A regular braking point, focus on the straight line braking into this one. Good. See, when you focus on the straight line braking, it shows you that the braking point is too early. But obviously, if you then forget to focus on it for a corner, then you're going to massively overshoot because you're not maximising the braking, right? So the first thing always has to be, like learning a new track, always has to be getting the braking right. Being
52.912.
Good. Good.
A little bit of understeer.
Yeah. Got it.
Same again.
Yeah. Good. Same again, delusion on the braking into this one and pick the reference point with that in mind, that you're going to be good on the brakes.
I could have braked later.
Yes, yeah.
Fuck's sake.
You see, every time you forget to be good on the brakes, you lose that ability to work out where the rest.
402. You got about 5 laps.
I don't understand it. That felt good. I'm losing time.
You're not losing much time. You would maybe it's down already. So you won't
Oversteered.
Good. Good. These corners are the ones where you're not pushing the fronts over the limit and you're nailing them in there. Good. To the time and exit. Good. Really good. Again, look at the time and exit just because you didn't.
I don't know how. I seriously, Tom,
Just because you didn't push the fronts over the limit.
But
You
it's
weren't
just.
understeering,
Yeah.
so you could turn through the corner more quickly.
Then I shit on it.
That's just dialing in the braking. You just haven't worked out where the braking point is when you get the braking right. Still a very good lap.
52.134.
Good. Again, just not pushing the front side over the limit.
Wow.
Good. This corner is the one you're getting like nice rotation. Same again, just don't push the fronts over the limit. Good. A little bit more aggressive braking point now. Now the braking. Good, this is close to where it needs to be. But again, you want to avoid that trail off in a straight line.
Okay. I don't know. It's like I don't know how to put it.
Gone?
I don't know how to put it, so I don't.
Okay.
I feel like I'm not.
let's grab a new car.
52.034.
That's that.
So I got a lot of concerns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like one, I'm way overthinking. I get it, but I'm trying to like focus on the understeer, the oversteer, the braking pressure, and the braking point. Okay, and I'm not a multitasker. But I didn't feel nothing with moving the brake bias back, and that scares me a lot because like I feel like we went back a lot.
So the not feeling the rotation thing
Uh-huh.
is, again, it comes back to overworking the front tires a little bit. It's natural that that's like the hard thing to find when you move to a new car. You are rotating the Porsche Cup really nicely, and you can probably feel that you're not getting the rotation in this that you were in that. Is that fair to say?
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. So the good thing is you're like, when you get the braking right and you get everything right in the Porsche Cup, your skill level in that is higher than it is currently in this, which means that because you've got to that level in the Porsche Cup, you at least now know that you're missing that feeling in this. So one thing to practice is trying to, like, specifically running laps just to try and find that feeling and understand what this car requires from you in order to get that rotation. From what it looks like at the moment, it looks like you just need a little bit less braking and a little bit more steering, like finding that limit less with the brakes. I think you quite often are activating ABS, and every time you activate ABS, that's preventing you from getting the rotation. So these next few laps, you're spot on that you're not quite finding the rotation. Number one thing to work on is braking points, 100%. Like, once you get the braking point and the brake trace correct, everything becomes a bit easier. Even if you're not finding the rotation yet, you probably, hopefully, found that when you're nailing the braking point, some of those corners do become easier, would you say?
Yep.
Or you just have, yeah, okay, cool.
All I'm going for is the tire feel, the understeer, the oversteer. Yes. I'm not like, so that's kind of all and then I try to remember it for next lap, and then I'll mess something else up, and I'll kind of reset myself.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, it's hamster wheel.
The one extra thing to think about in these laps is not activating ABS. So it sounds like to me you've got the base shakers on, and they're activating when ABS is kicking in. Is that right?
So I only have the tire slip on, because I only have my butt on. So I was like, well, if I can't feel the front thing's on, because I guess it's dead, it don't work. But the butt one does for the seat. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just feel tire slip. But honestly, I'm focusing so much on this, I don't feel it.
No worries.
Yep, now I'm pushing it. Again. I guess the hardest thing I have wrapping around my head is that I can't, like, I just can't comprehend, like, slower is faster. Yeah. And so it's like, it's been 3 years and it just, like, it makes no sense. It just, and so I guess it's not really, I can't multitask. It's more the fact that I can't come to the, except
I'd look at it this way, like, yes, slower will be faster, you're 100% correct, but even if slower is the same speed, right, no improvement in lap time, slower is still easier, right? So why would you want to get the same lap time in a more difficult way when you can get it in an easier and calmer way?
Okay.
And then in time that will turn into more pace as well.
Okay.
But
ABS.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's going to take some time to get used to how to feel this rotation in the car. There you go.
So I'm going to try not to think, okay?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I'm going to try not to. Alright, so we're just going to run it.
So what happened there? Why did you run deep?
So I've noticed that if I break every spot, there's a line on the ground here where the sign is, and if I try to guess where I break with the tail end of the car, I feel like every corner that's right. So I tried it with that one, and it wasn't.
So the key word being there, you tried to guess.
Yeah.
Right?
So right there.
So,
No, we'll see that line right there. I've been breaking on it at basically at what I feel like is the tail end of the car. So I wanted to see how it was going to go there.
So you're guessing that that's where the tail end of the car is,
Yeah.
rather than having a reference point that's precise and lines up to the car. So that's going to be the braking inconsistent. That's why you missed the braking point. That's why you ran deep, right?
Okay.
Even when, like, these are the things we're working on. Like, you want to just like, maybe I try this, maybe I try that, and it honestly, it just comes back to the fundamentals.
Okay. That's hard.
$55.089.
That wasn't very good, and I don't know why I'm gaining time there.
You are still quickly on the power, or like carrying a lot of speed on the exit. This was good.
I feel like I'm doing that corner a lot better, but I'm still losing a lot of time.
Don't react too much to the delta. Okay. Like if you just happen to have nailed that corner on your best lap, then even when you do the corner good, you're going to think you did it badly.
Nope.
It feels good if you feel like you nailed the braking, feel like you're not pushing the front tires over the limit, and you feel like you didn't apex too early, then that's a good corner.
You've got a slow car on the right. We have a car stopped on the right.
Good. Just say one more lap.
$53.17.
I feel like I'm working my rear tires more than I am my front tires.
I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
Anytime you're understeering rather than oversteering, you're going to be working the front more than the rear. On power, maybe a little bit, but it's more the understeer that you're struggling with at the moment, I think, than the oversteer.
Nope, too early.
So what was your braking point that was too early then?
The line.
That you were guessing?
Well, not guessing. I was testing.
Okay, fine. As long as it's like lining up with a part of the
Yeah.
car, that's fine.
Mhm.
Yep. Late apex again for this one.
That didn't feel right.
Yeah, you just kept it open a little bit too much. park it up there. We'll quickly
52.89.
touch on that incident that happened into this corner. I'll share my screen quickly now. I'll put it up. From my side for this session, the number one priority is getting those braking points right, because until you're consistent on the entry speed, it's going to be very hard to find the rotation consistently. You're right that the struggle is finding that rotation in this car. I'd say, apart from getting the braking points right and then being very careful not to push the steering over the limit on the fronts, practice some laps where all you're thinking about is trying to get rotation, whether the corner goes terribly or not. It may take some time for you to work out like exactly what is the right combination of things to get rotation in this car. Maybe one of the early things we did was literally just like spinning the car out. I don't remember if we.
Yep, we did that.
Well, yeah. So it'd be well worth you doing that in this car, working out what you need to do to spin this car out, so that gives you an indication of how you need to get the rotation from the car. So yeah, by all means, let me know how that goes, and if you're not able to spin the car out when like actively practicing it, then let me know, and you can even send me like a replay or whatever, and I'll try and talk you through what's going wrong. In terms of the incident at the start, I'll share my screen. Give me 2 seconds, just gonna put it up. In terms of the Is it this one? Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out, right?
Nope.
Is it this one or not? Do you remember?
It was on the start of the race. Yeah, I think it's this one. Yep. No.
No, because you were on the inside, weren't you?
Yep.
Was there another race in this?
Nope. It was
Sorry, was that you or was that YouTube?
Oh yeah, no, that was there was not on this one. There wasn't. There was 3 races. One I crashed, I think that one, and then the one I felt like, hey,
this one.
I think it's it. Yeah. Where the hell's the map? Yeah, that was the corner. Okay, so we're in here. Yeah. I think we're considered full time.
Green, green, green.
Yep.
Car on your left.
Yeah, it's the one. So from my side, I think this is just about on him for not leaving you space, but it's close. In terms of you saying like you're on the inside, so you should be able to run him out as far as you want. I think that only really. So I don't think you're like technically entitled to run him out as far as you want, but 9 times out of 10 you'll get away with it because the other driver doesn't want to make contact. But the key thing is you're only going to get away with it if you're in front of him and he can actually see your car, because then he can react to what you're doing and the line you're taking. But all the time you're behind him, so at the moment you probably have like your front wheels alongside his rear wheels, so all the time he can't see you in front of his screen. He has no idea what line you're taking, right? So all he's thinking about is leaving you a car's width, and then because you're the one that can see him, you're the one that's kind of got to react to the line he's taking. So technically, he could like decide to try and squeeze you as much as he wanted because you can see. It'd be a silly move on his part because exactly what happens may happen, and you spin him out. Not to say that's your fault, but that's what happens. He gets spun out.
But I
so,
didn't. Okay, you can go.
No, go on.
No, I felt like I didn't push him out. Like I stayed just.
No, you didn't.
So I was like, and like I said it, like I get pushed around, and now I'm at the point where I'm like I gotta fight back. Like, and so this is one of those things where I just thought that he was gonna say, you know what, I have more balls than you do, and I'm gonna take it from you. And I said, the hell you are. And so that's kind of what that was. It's just like because I get. And then this is how the race started, but it was a lot like this. I just kept getting doored, and I'm like, I don't, so I don't know. So that's it. It's kind of me trying to toughen myself up, I guess. But I was like, I didn't think I pushed him out, or in the car it looked closer, but I was looking at the apex to where that block is, right there. Yep.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, if I go any farther, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah. I don't think you pushed him out too far. Just to say that. Like, in this situation, it's not that you would be allowed to push him all the way out to the outside.
Yeah.
Because ultimately he can't see you. So even if you were allowed, like, it would be a bit of a weird rule. But even if you were allowed, he'd never see you. So it would just 9 times out of 10 result in this kind of contact, right?
Okay.
So if you know that he's not really going to leave that much space and he looks like he's going to squeeze you, then you can either make sure you're super tight so you don't come together, or back out if you think it's like definitely not going to work.
So I'm going to let him get away with that move.
I think once let's get it back to your perspective. Where was it in this race? Yeah, I don't think you have to let him get away with it. It's just really hard to tell how much overlap you've got. Like,
right
from here, it looks like you're super alongside.
Yeah.
But then you watch the offboard and you don't have a huge amount.
Yeah. And then I felt like he pushed me in. So on here, he pushed me and I took it. So instead of arcing it, I almost had to like shoot in a straight line. So I couldn't turn it. So I was like, it almost forced me out there. So I was like, that's what. And that's why I said, like, I didn't get mad. I just like he didn't give me no room. So
I don't think it's on you. I think it's racing instinct.
But next time I should lift.
If you feel like he's not going to leave you the space, then yeah. I don't think you did too much wrong in that one. Just the main thing I wanted to cover off is it's not that you were entitled to send him as wide as you wanted.
Yeah.
You kind of have to play ball with the line that he gives you because he's the one in front, so you're the one that can react to him. If you were the car in front and you couldn't see him and he could see you, then you can get away with dictating the line a little bit more.
Okay.
Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to go with your line to avoid the contact, right? Like you were trying to do. Even though you guys came together, no doubt you were trying to work with the small amount of space he gave you, and you were trying to avoid the contact because you could see him, right? But yeah, I think this is just a racing instant. There's nothing you really could have done once you were in the situation.
Okay.
But yeah, from my side, I'll type up a summary of this session. I think the main points are really nail those breaking points and pick a precise reference point. Don't try and guess like you were doing. And then, yeah, maximize the straight line braking. Make sure you've got that worked out, especially into the heavy braking zones, so that you're consistent through those corners. And then combination of one, not pushing the front steering too much, pushing the front tires too much. And part of that is going to be spending some time practicing spinning the car out to get the rotation. Once you've done the spinning the car out to get the rotation, it's probably going to feel a little bit easier for you to not push the front tires over the limit, because you're going to be more understanding what the car needs to do, what you need to do with the car to get the rotation. So I'd say general practice is braking points, separate to the braking points. Practice spinning the car out. That's well worth 15-20 minutes, even now if you're not feeling
Okay.
too fatigued or too overworked.
How do I spin the car out? Like with the Porsche, it's easier because it doesn't have traction control. So how is it whipping the car in? I mean, I don't really.
It's spinning the car out on brakes, right? It's specifically getting the rotation from the trail braking.
So it's trail braking. Okay.
Yeah. So not spinning the car out on exit because that's neither here nor there. You're controlling the car and saving the car fine. The thing you're struggling with is not feeling the rotation from the trail braking. So it's about smoothly spinning the car out with the trail braking, and working out how much braking, how much steering you need to do to get that to work.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions or?
No, just Groundhog Day. I just feel like I felt like last Tuesday I made so much progress, and then I jumped into this car.
A different car. This is
but it's just like I feel like a moron. Like I really thought I was going to do so much better, and now it's not. So I just
you can even jump into the Porsche Cup and practice rotating the car and spinning the car out on the trail braking in that car even to remind yourself how it feels to get that rotation, and you'll probably find that easier, and then try and implement the same thing in the GT3s. But it was of course going to be more difficult because we've jumped into a different car, so don't feel like you're going backwards. It's natural to be slower in the car that you've not spent the last however many weeks practicing in,
Yeah.
It's completely expected.
So I still stick with the Porsche Cup though, right?
In general, I think, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Like
okay.
This week, by all means, run
Right,
GT3s.
yeah. Okay.
You're definitely progressing really nicely in the Porsche Cup, so there's no need to change what's working,
Okay. Now, am I a complete moron because it's not translating? You can be honest with me.
No, absolutely not. Like,
because
the Porsche Cup is a difficult car to rotate, so it could be expected that you'd find it easier to rotate the GT3s. But ultimately, whenever you jump into a new car, it takes time to work out how to get that car to rotate. The good thing with sticking with one car is that now you've jumped into the GT3, you can very clearly identify, I don't know how to rotate this car. And so you can, like I've got you to go away and do now, is practice trying to rotate that car. Because you're better in the Porsche Cup, you can see that this is a problem for you, and therefore you can work on that problem in this car. That's the benefit of one car. But it's never going to be the case that a car that you spend 6 weeks practicing and you're jumping into a new car and you're instantly going to be up to the same pace. It doesn't work that way for anyone,
Okay. All right. Appreciate you, sir.
No worries. I'll type that up in a little bit. But yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll be watching to see how it goes. I'm sure you'll get there.
Thank you.
I know you will. It's just time and fundamentals.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Cheers.
Appreciate you. Bye.
Bye.
All right. This was just, I don't know how to put it nicely. Like, I don't know. Like, honestly, I'm, like, I just, it's not like it doesn't comprehend. I just, it's like wearing two right shoes. I can't, I'm very pig-headed, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, slower, I don't know how to put it. It's just something with the car. And then sometimes when the car feels right, I'm slower. But when the car feels wrong, I'm faster. So I'm always trying to find that feel and trying to find that brake thing. And it's like, honestly, I think the biggest problem is that I don't have the brake pressure like drilled into my head. The pressure, like what is what, like 5%, 2%, 3%, whatever, like 50% or 80%. Like I don't have that. Like I couldn't go from 98% to 97% or 98% to 90% or 60 to 20. I just, I really honestly, I do it all by the feel of the car. And so I think it's just learning it. It's just different. And I'm, I guess, a slow learner, I guess. But I'm really like pissed because I really thought I was going to be faster in this. And I'm not. I don't know how the hell I'm better in a harder car than I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to practice spinning. So that's it. Guess that's what I'm gonna do. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And if I have this problem again, I won't stream this because I feel bad because you guys basically watched Groundhog Movie again, where it's my brake tracing. So I kind of feel stupid for this. So we'll work on that.